Tanor Bortolini's really interesting and he's really funny. He's a damn good center in the National Football League, and he's one of the reasons that Ryan Kelly is now a center for the Minnesota Vikings. Tanor Bortolini, really good at his job and really good at explaining his job and how this offense functions, talking about Jonathan Taylor, talking about Quentin Nelson, all those things, all the different parts of that offense that conspire together to cause success.
You gotta in football, not everything's always going to be perfect, and the guys across from us get paid too. So they're going to make plays. They're going to have their moments where they beat us, and obviously we never want that to happen. But JT does a good job in those situations of making us right, making a guy miss, and even on a play that should be 0 yards, we're able to get 4 or 5. And it's huge like that to have that efficiency in an offense and to have a guy back there that can take any given run to the house or break one for 60 that could be a 7 yard gain is always really important for an offense, and we really appreciate him.
Joel.
What's what's it been like dealing with these blitz happy packages that you guys kind of keep running into the early this season?
I think it's always something that's a challenge to work through, but it's always a good sign that, they don't feel comfortable enough to just kind of play it straight up where, I think as an offense, we're doing a good job of moving the ball, especially in the first half. I feel like we're able to consistently get drives put together, move the ball downfield, and then they have to kind of change things up to try and find a way to stop us. And so we get a lot of different blitzes, little variations. We go on the sideline, make adjustments, but I think it's just something we work through as an offense. And I think it's obviously not always the easiest thing to deal with, but I think teams are going to continue to do it going forward. And if we're going to continue to win games, it's something we're going to have to be able to pick up.
How much of it, I mean, obviously there's the identification piece, but how much of it is just Daniel, knowing where he's got to go with the ball if somebody comes free on something?
It's huge. Knowing where your hot is, knowing where there's going to be like certain places like, hey, there's a guy free. There's nothing we can do about it. It's cover zero. And Daniel's always very good at knowing where that guy is going to be, knowing where his throw or his read is going to be, where he can hit that guy in stride, and we can get a first down on a play that's not always easy to pick up.
James.
Tanner, I know Shane is you all's play caller. What is it like playing for a guy who can be that creative? Because there are times when I go back and watch it and I'm like, wait, that's how that happens? So what is it like for you when you're installing things and you kind of know like we're always going to have something that we can turn to that could give us an advantage?
It's great. Shane's always got something kind of cooking back there where every week he's like, I got this idea on something we can do. And he kind of draws it up and it's like, okay, like that could work. And it's always cool to see those plays that he draws up. Just the ways he's creative and the ideas that he has that are outside the box. I think that's what makes him unique as a play caller is that, he puts the defense in situations they don't want to be put in. And that's always really, really huge as an offense where it puts pressure on the defense for us. And it's always exciting where we can give it a bunch of different looks, a bunch of different ways, show them one thing, do another. And Shane's very, very good at doing that.
You interested in lining up in the Wildcat at all? Or you cool on the line of scrimmage?
You're asking him, I stand up in the
Yeah,
wild?
yeah. If he's creative, I'm just
Hey,
asking.
if he even puts me back there, I'll make sure we score. That's a promise from me. I think any big guy that's ever gotten the ball will guarantee that they can score. Whether that's true or not, is to be seen. But I'd love a package like that. But no expectations of it.
Appreciate it.
Penter has a touchdown catch in his
I
career,
do,
right?
I do. That is a highlight. He's got a little video of it out there, and that's awesome. So maybe we'll find a way to get him back in on one of those.
Do a few more here, Joel.
Quentin, had that one play where they sent him out. It kind of looked like he was telling the ref, "You can't send me out of that." Is that kind of where that was going, or?
I think the one you're referring to, he got cut on a screen.
Yeah.
And he was pretty upset about that. You can't cut in space anymore from a defensive standpoint or an offensive standpoint. You can't cut either way. And he got cut, and he was pretty upset that was a no call. He's like, how can you allow this to happen? Like it happened to him last year as well. So it's the second time it's gone uncalled, and I think he got a little upset about that, which is reasonably so. You don't want to get a big time injury from something like that that's easily preventable.
When Quentin does get, dinged up, it just seems like over the course of his time here that he's just furious until he can get back in there. Is that kind of how it is on the sideline?
Absolutely. And, it just shows you how much he cares, how much he wants to play, be out there for this team. There's no injury that if he's not going to play, it's pretty serious and it's bad, where he'll try to play through anything that he can. He loves to be out there. He loves this team. He loves to win. I think you saw it yesterday. He's willing to do whatever it takes to get out there and put this team in a position to be successful. And it's always great having a guy like that around who you can tell cares that much, especially at the level that he's at.
There's Tanor Bortolini talking about Quentin Nelson, talking about Jonathan Taylor, a fellow Wisconsin alum, and a guy who is playing really, really well at the center position. People are a little bit concerned. It's funny. Offensive linemen, they only get headlines when they screw up. And Bortolini's a guy that you thought, is he really ready to take over for Ryan Kelly? Through 2 games, the answer is yes.